hi, you are very welcome and welcome to our Deaf Dialogue Uganda. I know we are so excited to have you here. Last time, in our last episode, we saw so many comments coming in our last episode, and so thank you so much. Please continue subscribing to our YouTube channel and all different social media platforms. My name is Doric Ankunda. Yes, and I am the host for today. And today we are talking about, in our second episode, we are talking about the different causes. Remember that in our first episode, we talked about the different categories of deafness. And today we want to join it together and see what are those different causes that people, why do deaf people become deaf anyway? So the causes of deafness. And yeah, let me first introduce my team.
Yes, hello.
Hi. So I am your girl, Doreen Sandra, and I'm so happy to be here again.
Well, hello everyone once again. My name is Hindu Gloria, and I'm so happy to be here once again.
Well, thank you so much. I think you have heard from my ladies and the team. Together, we are empowered and we are strong together. Yes, we are power. Yes, sure. So now, we want to discuss about the causes, the different causes of deafness, and I know that from research 2016. I don't know the recent UBOS statistics, but the last statistic that is clear, 2016. So last year, I know the last year they had the population census, it was 2016, and they were saying that 1.3 million deaf persons. I don't know, would you maybe bring that to a close and to into depth, and then we understand that? Okay, so I think I remember about 3 years ago too, in the World Federation of the Deaf, they say that 70 million people are deaf. But also it's important to remember that the World Federation of the Deaf, remember the statistics that is got from the different countries that subscribe to them, right? So there is also those countries that are not subscribed to World Federation of the Deaf. So in summary, we might have the 70 million, but there are more. So the World Health Organization also say that we have the 37 million deaf persons. And so bringing it back to here, Uganda, right? Here in Uganda, here in Uganda, bring it home, UBOS say that we are 1.3 million Ugandans who are deaf. And that is like the recent, that is the 2017. But as deaf persons, we feel this number is not really so perfect, because it's very important. Sometimes it's a bit deaf persons. How would you know? How there are some people who are not counted, right? And when you're looking at a person physically, you can't really know if this person is deaf or not, right? So it's hard to know that I am deaf if you met me as Sandra. So I think the 1.3 million doesn't serve us really so well. Yeah, I think so. Now I remember. Yeah, remember this is Deaf Awareness Week. So now you as to Doreen and Hindu, what are those causes that you know? Because I remember that when we were in our last episode, we talked about the different categories, and I remember when you were talking about how your family, you were 9 deaf persons. So can you really try and jumpstart us?
Yeah, well, about the causes of deafness. Well, I tried to inquire from my mom about what, caused the deafness. And so mom was like, well, in our family, the different causes of deafness are, inherited, if I can say so. Yes, they're generational.
Generational, yes.
Yeah. And at times, how can that happen? Being sick or fever.
Wait. You said in all your family you were born hearing,
yeah, exactly.
And then later on you became deaf, right?
Yes.
Well, so at the level, there are some who became deaf later on and then after. Can you explain that a little bit? I don't understand.
Well, I never inquired about things about those that were hearing or not, but maybe some became deaf at a certain age, some are below, and then some, do speak well. I think they can, speak the local language. They can speak it pretty well.
So, does it mean what are those causes? What, like sickness, right? Generational, right? Yes, even family, when it's in the genes, so it's in the blood. So how about you, Doreen? What do you think? So wait, but it's important. Actually, it's important when as deaf persons, when it's generational and it's in the blood, right? It's in the blood. When you have I have a friend in Australia, and my friend is a lady, is a girl, and she's deaf, right? And now later on, she wanted to get married, right? So she started dating with her boyfriend. So the family wanted to continue to keep the deafness within their families, right? So that in outside countries, with developed countries, where you can go to the hospitals and then you get tested, and the genes, the percentage, the genes of deafness that is within you. Is it, yeah? So they were really excited. So they were like, maybe if you can, if you get married,
Sandra, you mean
give back to
once you go to the hospital, they can check your genes?
Yes, in developed countries, you can, like for example, my friend, in her family, there are other deaf persons, but in her family, when they want to sort of like to know the deafness, the cause of deafness in their family.
Was the friend hearing or deaf?
Is deaf.
Oh.
Is deaf. So we get tested, they would get tested, they can get tested, and when you give birth to a baby, they can know if the child will be deaf or hearing.
Oh.
So they went for a test, and they were like, the family will become, they'll be able to give birth to a deaf child. So it was really interesting,
Wow.
So anyway, so about the causes of deafness, there are different causes of deafness, and for example, sickness. For example, me, I was born hearing, right? And at the age of 13, as I was telling in our first episode, at the age of 13, when I had gone to school, actually, I wasn't feeling well. I didn't feel well, and like I had malaria. So I felt like, I wasn't really feeling so well, and I would feel a lot of noise, like this, distant noise in my distant noise in my ears, like echoes, yeah, like
teens.
Yeah, yes. So the next day, the malaria was very, very high. So we went to the hospital. When we went to the hospital, the doctor, actually, I had not really become deaf, but I would hear so many noises like this, those noises that are disturbing. So the doctor was like, this girl, the malaria is very high. So let's just give her this treatment, quinine. So when they gave me that treatment, that's when I became deaf. So yeah, these are some of the causes. There are sometimes when you become sick of malaria and you're given quinine, that quinine is really related. We've got research that deaf people, people who have become deaf, most of them, when they were sick of malaria and they were given this treatment. So doctors say that this treatment can make a person become deaf. So I guess that is one of the causes.
You're right, Sandra, because many of my friends, keep on asking me, hey, Gloria, how did you become deaf? And then I'm like, was it malaria? Were you just injected? How did you become deaf? And so in that way, Sandra, you're so right. Because, quinine, has, caused many people to become deaf. I don't know what that means. Is it bad?
Yes. I think in 1999 or 2000, around there, that year, there were so many hospitals, and actually they stopped that treatment. It was stopped here in Uganda. It was stopped in African countries. They stopped because they had that treatment of quinine. When you get sick of malaria, that's the only treatment they would be given. So sometimes when they give you maybe an overdose of treatment or strong medication, that also can cause deafness.
And so that means sickness can also, cause deafness. Again, some are just inherited. So
Yes, that's for sure. That is very true. Thank you so much. I was also wanted to say something what we have just said right now. For me, I became deaf at the age of 7. Yes, 7. No, not 17. 7. Yeah, 7. At the age of 7. Yeah. So I was hearing everything, but the speech wasn't. The words were not so clear at that age of actually 7. So one day, I felt like I was very sick, my body was shaking, I felt like I had a lot of fever, and then the sickness was really too much, and then I started hearing effects in my ears. You know how you'd hear like those sounds, that like disturbing sounds in your ears? So my family said actually it was malaria, and that's what happened. So they took me to the hospital, and then later on I lost my hearing. Gradually I lost my hearing, and I think that too, it was gradual, and then afterwards I became fully deaf. Yeah, but sometimes really it depends. Sometimes I can hear a little bit, but yeah, I think also when you put on a hearing aid, you can hear a bit. But at some point when I was using a hearing aid, it was disturbing me to make some weird sound, and I just removed it. So yeah. So but I think yeah, malaria. You're right, malaria.
Yeah.
So the doctors agree that malaria is the #1 cause of deafness. When you get sick, and then meningitis, yes, meningitis. When you have that, I think you get some. No, I think that is mumps. That is different. But this is meningitis.
Oh.
When you are, I think that also causes deafness. Yeah, and then also mumps.
The mumps?
I think you get some swelling down.
Yes, the mumps.
Yes. You're right. That also causes deafness. Mumps. Yeah. Yeah, I think more what I've heard is malaria, and then some also. But now I have heard from you that also the other disease, yes, meningitis, and then mumps, and yeah, and then also sometimes when you are born deaf, there's some parents who are, when you're pregnant, right before birth, some parents who don't go for prenatal, yes, they don't take care of themselves, and that at some point can also affect the child. So yeah, it can also be one of the causes. But there are also some who say that it's a curse.
It's a curse.
Yeah, yes, that you've been cursed. Or some those also they are accident. Maybe you get an accident, and then yeah.
In some way. Another cause of, actually, the bombings or the bullets, it can also, cause deafness due to, those loud, voices, or the noise, the sound pollution can also cause deafness in one or the other. Yes. Now, recent people, are complaining, many youths, those are, going to the clubs and they put on the headsets that are shouting so loud. That can also hinder music. Causing deafness. Then another friend of mine asked a friend actually, how did you, become deaf? Then he was like, one day, somebody slapped her, and so that caused her deafness. Yeah, slaps. Well, I think we have learned something from this. You can slap a child, for example, you slap in a wrong, and the child can become deaf. So please, let's be encouraged not to do some of those things like beating a child or beating someone on the ears or thank you so much for calling. I think first wait, Doric. I wanted to say something. For example, me as Doreen, from the different categories of deafness, the causes of deafness that we have talked about. In Africa, there are so many people who say that most of us were bewitched to become deaf. Yeah, I don't know if it's true, but I'm not sure. But they say that it's right or wrong. I don't know, but I feel it's just on suspicion. We don't know for sure.
But I don't know when a person goes and they get bewitched or malaria or what. So I think for me it's I feel it's not correct, really. It's not correct. It's not
Derek, maybe. Well, for example, maybe like if you give birth to kids, and maybe a stepmom is like, okay, hey, you want to inherit all my stuff? Okay, I'll do you something so that you become deaf. I'll go bewitch you and then become deaf. Yes, maybe. Maybe.
No, I don't believe in that. I don't believe that. I don't believe. What I think is here in Africa, sometimes when, for example, when you're studying, so when you're an intelligent person and you're brilliant, you know, and then later on maybe you for example, in your family, right? For example, in your family, when a family of deaf persons and you have learned, it's easy to say that those people maybe are jealousy and they bewitch us or something like that. And then, but when you travel in outside countries, like in developed countries out there, it's either it's generational, maybe someone goes married and then or something like that. So I feel that it's just maybe the genes. Yeah, it's in the genes when someone is born with the genes of being a deaf person. Yeah, I think so, but not like someone like bewitched you, like no, I don't think it's true.
Well, I also have one more point. Doreen. Well, another cause of deafness is the old age. The old age.
Yeah.
Because if somebody grows and then at a certain age, that person loses his hearing.
And then becomes
so
hard
when
of
that person
hearing.
Can't
You're
hear
correct.
pretty well.
You're correct. You're right.
It's also another.
Yeah. You're correct. Old age. So I think so. I wanted to use this opportunity. You know, sometimes it's normal. It's not bad, really. It's normal. It's normal. I agree with you. Really, I agree with you. Like for example, if when someone is sick and then afterwards in the area of sickness, I think it's normal. So with this kind of information, the people out there, and then you hear of someone has been bewitched and that's how you became deaf and all that, I think it's not correct. It's demystifying it is not correct at all. So I need everyone who is watching us to understand that there are so many causes of deafness, but it's normal also to become a deaf person, really. So so when we will talk about it. So anyway, so I wanted to ask both of you, as now from the causes of deafness, these causes, what are I want to understand outside in the societies or communities that we live in, those. For example, me and Doreen, we get married, you know, and then can you give it to another, like, for example, me or you, Doreen, right, or your relative, I'm deaf and you're also deaf, and then we get married. Will it be able, like, we'll give birth, like, will that be also a cause that you give birth to a child who is deaf?
Well, I understand, you know, some families. Maybe like the husband is hearing, but again, that gives birth to kids that are deaf. I don't really understand.
It depends. It depends on the genes of the person, really. Because if you, for example, I shared the story of my friend in Australia who had a family with deaf persons, and then he also got married to a deaf person, and then afterwards, when they grew up and got an opportunity of gave birth to a child who is deaf. Right? So when you get married, even if you get married to a hearing person, you can give birth to a hearing child. Yeah.
But still, I think it depends.
Okay, so thank you so much. So now, as we are winding up, you know, we've seen the different causes of deafness, the meningitis, the mumps, the malaria, and all those sicknesses, and then the treatment given. So I don't know what you think. In our next episode, we'll be talking about different things, but the last episode we talked about the different causes, different categories. Now we talked about the different causes. Please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and send in comments, please. And I hope you're all feeling okay, right? And if you have questions or comments or something you want to discuss, really, please drop it in our comment section and we'll be sure to talk about it next time. Thank you so much and see you. Bye.
Next time.
See you.
Bye-bye.
Love you.